Okay, it's all good. Alright, everybody, this is the video 2 of the Wade and Shiggy show. My boy Shiggy here, and I myself am Wade. Don't be putting up gang signs, please. Anyways, today.
It's not gang signs, it's WWE. We're talking about WWE today.
Yep, today is our
Because
little.
It's a new day. Greatest tag team out there. You heard it first from me.
Feel the power!
They're the greatest.
Anyways, today's our little discussion on the Royal Rumble and what we think is possibly going to happen. Now, as I told him before, I think it's going to be Triple H coming back and winning the Royal Rumble. And making it WrestleMania being Roman Reigns versus Triple H for the WWE title. Your thoughts?
I don't think much. All right. Well,
just do the best you can.
First of all, you're going to see probably 2 or 3 wrestlers come in, get thrown out within 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It happens every stinking year.
Yep.
It'll either be the Godfather, the Boogeyman. They may even try to resurrect Earthquake and bring his dead, fat, bloated ass in the ring. And he's going to eat people because that's what zombies do. And as fat as he is, he's probably hungry. The winner is not going to be...
Who do you think it's going to be?
The winner's not... I've thought over this long and hard. Yes, I said hard. I don't think very hard most times.
Okay.
Roman Reigns not going to win it. I believe the person that's going to win it is going to be either Sheamus. Dean Ambrose could turn. It's a possibility. The point is, you're going to see Roman Reigns take on Triple H, I think, for a non-title fight. I don't see Triple H winning the belt because he's the owner of the company. Well, not owner, but he's the owner's son.
Son-in-law.
Yes, and if he has the title, that would mean he'd have to go to a pay-per-view before WrestleMania. He'd have to defend his title. He's not going to do all that. Somebody else is going to win it. It's either going to be a Dean Ambrose screw job, or Sheamus is going to get it back. Somebody else is going to fight them for the title, or even possibility Roman Reigns is going to fight Triple H at WrestleMania. And it could be the possibility, if you beat my husband, you can go on at WrestleMania that very night and fight for the title.
Now, let me ask you this. Who do you think would be a surprise legend entrant in the Rumble this year? Because it seems like for the past maybe, 4 or 5 years, there's always been a legend that enters the Royal Rumble and kind of does his own thing, and then a few minutes later gets eliminated.
I also could see Chris Jericho screwing over Roman Reigns. But the thing, getting back to WrestleMania, the thing I'm thinking is if he does fight Triple H, he's going to fight for the title. And it could be 2 different people going for the title. And then if he beats Triple H, he can be entered as the 3rd man. And then you're going to obviously see a billion people trying to help Triple H win that fight. Roman Reigns could win it. He becomes the 3rd man. They have a 3-way dance for the title, and of course they want Roman Reigns with the title. He's your biggest baby face because, number one, Ambrose will not win the title as a face, not yet. I honestly see him turning because if you think about it, they're doing this whole he's my brother, we're backing each other up. WrestleMania, it's every man for himself. He could throw Roman Reigns over. Say there's 4 people left. He's one of the 4. He throws him over, wins the title. It could be a last minute. Say Roman Reigns throws over a 3rd guy, starts to celebrate, and then Dean Ambrose just hits him from behind, knocks him over the ropes. Thing's over. Or Triple H is going to help Dean Ambrose, and they're going to screw. Somehow I think it's going to be a screw job with Ambrose going heel. Because they've been talking about it too damn much. And you're going to see Kane come in, eliminate probably 5-6 people. He's not gonna be breaking records.
This
even
guy's
though
favorite superstar, by the way,
he
ladies and
should be
gentlemen.
breaking records as far as I'm concerned. He's turned down many title runs in that stinking company. You don't get any better of a company player than that. He's going to come in and do his thing. You're going to see probably guys like Samoa Joe you might see come in. It's a possibility. Samoan
Good.
against Samoan. Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe fighting out would be I think that would be a great match for Mania for a title. But it's Samoa Joe and he's TNA or was.
Impact, which is what it is
Well,
now.
yeah, I guess it's Impact TNA. It's
Which, by the way, folks, it
Another
actually has its own TV show now. It's on Pop Channel. You just go to Impact Wrestling website; they'll actually tell you like the channels. But honestly,
garbage.
there's really nobody on there anymore. I mean,
AJ Styles came over.
Jeff Hardy. I mean, Jeff Hardy's probably the only guy on that roster that I would pay to watch. Everybody else just seems just in my mind. I mean, Lashley's garbage now, which I don't get that.
Lashley's always been garbage.
But here's the thing: why would you push him and then just put him down the crapper and lose the EC3 in one match? Like,
That's because it's Impact Wrestling. Look who runs that show.
yeah,
Breakdown of Impact Wrestling for me. We'll get back to WWE. Breakdown of Impact Wrestling starts out with Jeff Jarrett. I love Jeff Jarrett. The guitar.
Yep.
He's a professional dude. When he ran that show.
By the way, shout out to the video of Jeff Jarrett smashing a head over Matt Hardy's face. Guys, go look it up. It is gruesome. I think Matt Hardy had over like 10 stitches over his head. It was epic.
The point being, Jarrett takes that company over. Six-sided ring. It was exciting because those were people. It wasn't the WWE. Ring of Honor wasn't huge. So for people, your casual wrestling fan knows about Impact. They'll start seeing people they don't know. Then you get these diehard wrestling guys that aren't diehard WWE. They're just diehard wrestling fans like myself. They go, they watch it, they think, man, this is great. It's good. It wasn't great. It was great because you've never seen these guys before. Or if you have, it was very limited because some of them came from Ring of Honor. And a lot of these dudes just kind of come out of nowhere. So it makes it wow. And then all of a sudden, they did exactly what I knew would happen. Eric Bischoff came over. That brought in Hulk Hogan. Kevin Nash.
Scott Hall.
It brought in the whole
Everybody.
cancer that killed WCW.
Yeah, WCW.
Now you sit here and people ask, well, why did TNA fold? Because number one, Dixie Carter don't know shit. Okay.
Watch language, guys.
She brought in her money. Oh, it's YouTube. Listen. I'm a sailor. I'm sorry. She doesn't know crap. She brought in money. That's what she brought in. She's hot. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to have a little Dixie Carter wrestling me. But Hulk Hogan came over. Yes, Hulk Hogan was a great wrestler. Kevin Nash was a great wrestler. But they're not great business people when it comes to it. They know how to wrestle. They don't know the business end of it. Let's face it, when Hulk Hogan got there, who was really screaming, yes, this is what we want? You know, and then he wrestled, I think, one or two matches every now and then.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's like watching Ric Flair. He retired. He goes to TNA, starts wrestling again. Nobody wants to see a 60-year-old man trying to chop people and do his ridiculous, silly dance.
I still think him fighting Sting at Bound for Glory was kind of pointless.
It's all pointless when it comes to Ric Flair because he does that stupid, ridiculous dance. I don't even think he did that dance when he was in his young days. He did a strut, not a dance where he looked like a chicken with his head cut off. You're done, Flair. Stick to being a manager. That's fine. You want to manage your daughter, that's fine. But anyway, off track. TNA fell apart because they brought the cancer in. Now back to WWE. They're bringing these TNA guys over. Number one, James Storm left. He comes and he leaves. Why? Because they weren't going to do anything with him. It's understandable. You got guys in Impact like Eric Young. I could see him on the roster in WWE as a mid-carder Intercontinental champ. He's got skills. He's got moves. He's kind of a Santino Marella in a lot of ways because he's a little pipsqueak kind of guy. That
have
really,
you seen his character in Impact lately?
Yes, I have. And
Turn him
but
into
I'm
a
saying,
psycho.
I'm saying for the most part, he's built like Santino, small, compact.
Yeah.
He could be kind of a underdog guy that you
He'd have to get a new finisher though.
Well, yeah.
Because he can't do the pile driver. That's banned.
No, he can't. But the point being, you're going to see these guys come over from Impact, and there's guys that honestly came over too late. AJ Styles, you're 37 years old. You just now coming over. If you think you're going to get a push,
You're right.
you're a poor man's Chris Jericho. That's what you are.
But I wouldn't mind seeing him against Seth Rollins whenever he gets healthy.
What I would like to see is AJ Styles fight Chris Jericho. That's what I think every fan wants to see because they're so similar in their wrestling style, their build. They both can do moves off the ropes. They're quick, they're fast. I want to see, the matches I want to see would be Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns. That would be a great fight. Because you got a kind of they're both brawlers in a sense. I mean, Samoa Joe does have a submission move, but let's face it, he's not a submission wrestler. He's not going to pull out figure four leg locks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, or even seeing Samoa Joe against, say, Bray Wyatt, or Samoa Joe against even Strowman. I think it would be a decent fight. Yeah, Strowman's bigger than him, taller than him, but I think they need to do something with Samoa Joe because he's got skills, he's got the ability in the ring, and they bring him over to put him into, what is that, NXT?
Yeah.
Fine. You want to use him to train guys, that's fine. If that's what his role is and he knows that and you're paying him, fine. But what really kills me is you start bringing back other people like ECW. That's a waste of time. You brought back Tommy Dreamer. What did he do? He does the same thing he always does. Loses, gets his butt kicked. A good match. Rhino facing Roman Reigns. That doesn't even have to be a title match. That could just be a little feud you could build up. I mean, they both do the spear. They both look similar. They're both aggressive. That would be a good fight. You know, mix it up a little bit. Don't do the same simple, obvious stuff. And what's wrong with the WWE is everybody either tapes it and leaks it out, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because let's face it, if they're making a match, or they're making all these plans, you know somebody is paying somebody in that organization money to give them information. Somebody, be it a cameraman, be it a behind the scenes guy, somebody's making the money to leak stuff. So then they leak it all over the internet. And that's why the WWE, when they have to change a match a week before a show's supposed to go on or a pay-per-view's supposed to go on, they stink. Because everybody knows the outcome already, so they're afraid they're going to lose pay-per-view numbers where you done already lost those. And then when you start changing matches around, coming up with these impromptu matches, they're garbage. It's garbage. If you can name a few, I know there's a few matches I know that they had to switch around because shit got leaked out. Stuff got leaked out. And that was it. I sat there and watched a TLC pay-per-view 2 years ago for free, and I felt like I was watching a Monday Night Raw.
That's how it is with every pay-per-view nowadays.
And WrestleMania is getting to that point. WrestleMania, the matches, this is what kills me with WrestleMania. Okay, alright, you want The Undertaker to lose. He loses to Brock Lesnar. You just literally killed your pay-per-view.
Stupid. It was the stupidest thing WWE's ever done.
Because this is why people watched WrestleMania to see these who... There was always that, man, is this guy going to do it? Is this guy going to do it? There was never, in my opinion, never, oh, well, this guy's not going to do it. They're just going to set him up and he's going to knock him down. I always felt if they had the perfect guy for it, there always was that chance. CM Punk, but CM Punk, they used and abused him. And when he wrestled that match, he gave his 100% from his side of it, but really, he was leaving the company anyway. So it's basically, people knew he wasn't happy. I don't think anybody knew he was going to leave, but the simple fact that if you have The Undertaker still undefeated and you give him the right people, you can have epic matches that make WrestleMania watchable. And this would never happen, but he could have been undefeated. He could have came out and said, I've lined up. Say he beats Lesnar. Say he beats Lesnar. You could have that crap lined up that nobody can beat me, and that's where you could have brought in Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe said, you ain't never wrestled me, and I'm not afraid of you. And that's all you have to do. It makes it interesting. It doesn't even got to be Samoa Joe. You can have The Undertaker versus anybody that is a young and up-and-coming guy that you want to push, or it could be a guy who was on his caliber to begin with. You could have had him undefeated. John Cena could have came out and said, guess what? I haven't fought you yet. I want to see if I can beat you. Now you have him lose. What does it matter who he fights? He fought Bray Wyatt. It didn't matter. You already got that one loss. So what is Bray Wyatt going to do? He's going to fight him for what purpose? Because you're the new face of fear? You don't really scare anybody, Bray Wyatt. I love your gimmick. I love your shtick. I think the Wyatt family was great, but you shot that down in flames 3 months after they came into the WWE because they weren't dominating people. You bring somebody like Bray Wyatt in, you have the perfect opportunity to set up your own version of the Four Horsemen. Bray Wyatt's a champion, and everybody is helping Bray Wyatt out in his family to keep that title. But you didn't do that. You bring him in, then you have his two guys leave for whatever reason, because you let them free. Now they come back, and you bring in this guy, Braun Strowman, who's kind of the Barry Windham of your little wannabe horseman tree foursome here. And yet you're putting these guys against the Dudleys for what? You're putting them against the Dudleys for what? The Dudleys get nothing out of it. Bray Wyatt and their family gets nothing out of it. Nothing. Bray Wyatt should have been the champion at least once already, or at least had some kind of title. They have. Has the Wyatt family ever had any titles?
They had the tag titles. That was about it.
Oh, that was for like a whole month, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, didn't they beat like the Old Age Outlaws or?
No, they beat the Usos, and then the Usos went back.
That's another good tag team. Don't split them up.
But before we get too far into this video with, what they should have done, what they shouldn't have done, I gotta ask you. I got news just a few minutes ago about them possibly putting Legends, the possibility of Legends going in the Hall of Fame this year. Do you believe that JBL deserves a Hall of Fame spot right now?
Yes.
What about...
Hold on. JBL. Multi-time tag team champion. Intercontinental champion. Longest reigning SmackDown champion in WWE history. Held that belt for 9.5 months. He is my other favorite wrestler. I love you, JBL. I loved you better when you had the cowboy hat. I like APA, but I thought when you went solo, you were the best. How you were winning matches. That cage match, when you got chokeslammed through the ring and you crawled out underneath the ring and you won that stuff, that was classic. I love JBL and Kane. Can't bring back Taz, which is sad because I love Taz too. But
yes, they kicked him off of Impact.
They're kicking everybody off of Impact.
They literally got, this is their commentating team. They got You remember who the Pope was? The black guy who did the whole.
Yeah, that was
I forget who his name was, but and then they got Josh Matthews.
yeah, the Pope was oh my God, the black guy. He was not Orlando Jordan. Um,
I can't remember.
oh no, he was somebody else before he was the Pope.
Yeah, he was D'Angelo De Niro. I can't remember who he
Yeah,
was.
I liked him. I always liked the Pope.
But before this video gets any longer, the people want to know who is your favorite to win the Rumble this year?
I haven't really found out who all is in it. I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose turning on his brother.
Dean Ambrose, huh? Okay.
He's going to turn on Roman. I honestly think that's the way they're going to do it because Sheamus ain't going to win it. Okay, I think everybody they realize, even as a heel, people yelling "you look stupid" is not a good fan reaction for a heel. A heel is supposed to generate hatred, which he does, because they make fun of him, but it's not popping like a heel should pop, pop, pop.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Heels in the past, Seth Rollins got a pop everywhere he went because there was people that loved him and people that hated him. There was no one was ever bored with Seth Rollins because he played the perfect heel. He cried every 5 minutes. He was, when he would fight, he was like Edge. He didn't want to fight, but then when someone would fight him, what did he do?
He's
fought
basically a poor man's Edge,
dude.
For you guys,
he fought like a mother when he was fighting those fights. But he was a heel, so he'd run out of the ring and do the typical, "We could fight tonight, but I'm not going to do that because I don't fight unless it's for money."
Yep.
That kind of BS that they always do. But anyway, back to Royal Rumble. I'm saying Dean Ambrose, I could see doing a turn because they're done with Sheamus. Sheamus ain't getting no pop. I see. You went back to the Hall of Fame. I see JBL getting in the Hall of Fame this year. He's got to. I mean, he's done. He's retired. He's done more than enough in that company. Had countless titles.
Does he get in before Vader though?
Oh yeah, way before Vader.
You don't think Vader deserves a Hall of Fame spot?
I'm not saying Vader doesn't deserve a Hall of Fame spot, but he'll get in after JBL because really Vader held a lot of titles in like the territories. He held the WCW title, I think, once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as WWE, he never really made. And I know WCW is owned by WWE, but let's face it, Vince is going to. And this isn't even really a wrestling Hall of Fame, it's a WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, they try to make it like it's a wrestling. Like they want it to be like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where we do all kinds of music. Well, they're trying to do all kinds of federations, all kind of wrestlers, but let's face it, they're biased. The WWE didn't really do a lot with Vader. They brought him in, and he did do some damage while he was there, but was he a title holder? I don't believe so. If I'm wrong, correct me on that. But if my 40-year-old brain serves me correctly, he did not win a title, except maybe a tag title or a hardcore title or whatever. But he was never a big. He just never had an impact that like he did in WCW.
Yeah.
JBL had impact because when he came in, he was with the Acolytes, and before that, he was with. I think he was the new Blackjack Mulligan, or a part of that whole expansion in his young days. He made an impact, and him turning heel was the best thing he could have ever done for his career. Because as a face, he was never going to go anywhere as Bradshaw. If anybody thinks I'm wrong, tell me how you think he could have.
Put it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, if you think Bradshaw could have been a Hall of Famer over the JBL that was.
Nope.
Well, that's his opinion. I'm asking you
Look
guys
at Ron
your
Simmons. Ron Simmons, WCW champion. First ever black champion, I think, in WCW. before Booker T, before all these cats. If Booker T can make it, why not JBL? Because let's face it, Ron Simmons came over and you know, what impact did he have in WWE other than being a tag champ? If he would have turned heel and stayed a heel solo and they did something with Ron Simmons, he could have been a champion, possibly. But he pretty much, after the Acolytes turned face and became the APA, what did he do? He stayed a face. He was a lovable, likable guy. He had a little catchphrase that's just hilarious because he'd walk up on people out of nowhere. You could be standing in a stall taking a pee, and he'd just pop up behind you and yell, damn, and you're peeing on your hands and scared. But point being, JBL is going to make it. Vader will make it. I don't think JBL will headline the class this year.
No, because that's Sting.
Yeah. But, yeah, that is Sting. But I don't see Vader making it this year. I don't.
All right.
Anybody else that I could think that would make it this year into the Hall of Fame?
Well, we can do that in a separate video. We don't want to overload these guys too much on our information, and especially our history. We're going to close the video out here.
We are? I was having fun.
This is our WWE discussion video.
Christian.
You know, we are WWE fans. We kind of watch it, you know, watch the pay-per-views and stuff. And we will be watching Royal Rumble this Sunday. We will give you our reactions of it.
Christian.
And
Hall of Fame.
my opinion to win the Royal Rumble, now, don't add anything to it because I'm trying to close this video out. My opinion is going to be Triple H because of the fact being that at WrestleMania, this guy, I swear, my opinion will be it'll be Triple H versus Reigns at WrestleMania for the title, and Reigns will win it back, and the feud will be over between the McMahons and Reigns. But like this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to our channel, guys. I mean, we're basically doing videos like this every day, you know, but WWE is only going to be like a one-day-of-a-week thing.
I'm going to win the Royal Rumble.
In his mind. Anyways, subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and comment below. You know, tell us your guys' opinions on who's going to win the Rumble. You know, we told ours and our history of us knowing. I mean, we basically know a lot about WWE, especially this guy.
There's a lot of factual things, too, that play into...
Anyways, before he gets into his rants, because he loves rants. Thank you guys so much if you stayed through this whole thing and listened to us. And stay classy, everybody.